East will come into play in a big way. That's where Armageddon will take place. There are many who don't quite understand, but I can tell you that's where it's going to take place, in the Middle East. Any nation that is going to successfully counter this kind of unconventional warfare, which is where the world is now, the position where the world is now at, will have to be underpinned by God through born-again believers. Because I'm only the prayers of the saints, the praise as in the time of Jehoshaphat, as in the time of Joshua, the prayers, the praise, the worship, as in the time of the apostles. We saw what happened with Peter and others. It is as we dig deep that God is going to be showing us the enemy before the enemy shows up. Whatever strategy the enemy is going to use. And through prayers, we can also nullify and shut down. We can
watch, because I've been, good night everybody. I've been watching this series Thundercats. That, you know, the sword and Thundercats. If you're old enough, you're gonna know. Give me sight beyond sight. Thundercats. Oh, we need sight beyond sight, ladies and gentlemen. We need God to give us sight beyond sight. That's what the man I talk about. You understand? Oh yeah, I remember what he always said. Peaceful, prayerful protest. I was trying to remember that earlier today. Peaceful, prayerful protest. Right? We have to ask God to give us sight beyond sight. You know, Karen always a link and I say, oh, staying in the realms, you know, Mr. McLean, aka Young P, always talk about living in the realms of the spirit. Giving us sight beyond sight. That is what is required. You understand?
to take evasive actions. We can cause through prayer, because remember now, the angels of the Lord are available and they are always waiting for assignment. They are the ones who can also pull down drones from the atmosphere. I'm telling you.
So, yeah, fully ready.
They are the ones who can block signals. Yes, they are the ones who can also destroy aircrafts, cause systems to malfunction. Systems that should function in a particular way starts malfunctioning, and so on and so forth. We have to understand that the winning of battles, overcoming in these end times, is not going to be dependent on who has the largest army, who has the latest technology, who has the most nuclear warhead and all of that. No. It is going to be won by those who are in Christ on the Lord's side. Yes, there will be the World War III, which has actually started, but it hasn't fully manifested itself, but it has started.
Wow.
It is when it is announced you will realize that it had actually started, but it has started. And it's just a matter of time before it will escalate and will take shape, so you will actually see where it is going to be centered. And it's not going to be centered on one battlefield per se, but multiple fronts it's going to be fought.
Amen.
Yes, and it will pave the way for Armageddon. And that is where the Middle East will come into play in a big way. That's where Armageddon will take place. There are many who don't quite understand, but I can tell you that's where it's going to take place, in the Middle East.
So, that's a new one. This one just dropped today. Wow. This is the one I wanted to play though.
He has not yet moved decisively. So, yes, we have a little time, but it's not a lot of time. So I'm going back to the ruffling of feathers clipping of wings, plucking out of feathers. That prophetic word is unraveling, and the only thing that will prevent or cause all of it not to play itself out manifestly is if this nation turns and the leaders who are under surveillance, and hear this well, and I'm speaking prophetically, they're under surveillance, and feathers are going to be plucked.
Wow.
Wings are going to be clipped. Watch where visas are concerned.
Hey.
If this island does not.
I know see that them I worry about though, them visa, right? Everybody I worry about them visa. So they're afraid to talk about what is right and what is wrong in regards to what happened at Venezuela. They're afraid to stand on principle. And them visa still all get taken. Ain't that something? Mighty God.
Strong action is coming. Read Jamaica. Let me go a little bit further. And again, I'm speaking prophetically. As we see in the realm of the spirit. If this island does not turn, the screws are going to tighten. The big players, i.e. the operatives of the beast, with whom Jamaica has gone into bed, when the United States makes more demands, because they are going to be making more demands. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. They are going to be caught between the rock and the hard place. Who are we going to answer to? They are going to with whom are we going to side? With whom are we going to partner? They're going to be between a rock and a hard place also, because they have taken huge amounts of money from different players and they have to deliver. So there are going to be consequences.
That is the problem. You see when they licky and honest. Yeah man, when they licky and love money man, greedy man, here and there and everywhere, partnering in everybody. Now have no standard, now understand the geopolitical atmosphere. Making deals and promises, you know, not looking at the climate of what's happening around you. Them say a man without vision are going to perish, you know. You can't imagine if you have a leader when on a vision, the entire nation are going to perish. You never know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Parliament kept today. And I have to tell you, I mean, wow. There was some revelations. I'm going to start here. I am going to start here, ladies and gentlemen. Big up all the representatives for the People's National Party that represented themselves and their constituents and the people of Jamaica well. This is one from Mr. Mark Golding. It says here that leader of the opposition calling out what he describes as misleading statements. Golding pressed the minister on the true cost of restoring Jamaica's power grid, while Vaz confirmed a US $150 million loan from cap bond funds to JPS. He failed to explain what happened to the remaining US $200 million, previously said to be required. Golding made it clear the opposition supports financing JPS, but not without transparency. Where is the full plan? What is the real cost? And why the sudden shift of the original US $350 million to $400 million estimate? Straight questions, no dodging. This is accountability in action. Ladies and gentlemen, bangarang. These people don't change a leopard don't change its spots. Let me tell you. And Daryl Vaz has been in this position before. Daryl Vaz has been in the position where, remember the buses? We have 63 buses. Where's the rest of the buses? Where is the rest of the buses? Where's the rest of the school buses? Bus after bus after bus after bus after bus after. Where are they? Corruption, ladies and gentlemen. It is straight what it is. Corruption. Until they can show you the receipts, right? Until those buses come, it's plain corruption. And what we want to see is why I am pushing the signing of the Magnitsky Act, right? If you're on TikTok, look at my bio, please. Subscribe to my platform. Go to my page, open the part that says more under the subscription amount. Press more. At the top of all the links, you will see the Magnitsky Act. Click it, open it, put in your email and the information, sign the act. It's going to go to a point where it's going to say donate. Do not donate. Go and look under the part where it says donate. You're going to see I'll share it instead. Press I'll share it instead and share it with other people so they can sign it. What is the Magnitsky Act about? The Magnitsky Act is about holding the government accountable where corruption is concerned and human rights violation. It is something that was pushed by Mr. Will Rattigan, and I have seen the value in it and decided I am going to aid. He did not ask me because I want to see the country better. I am going to aid in getting those 10,000 signatures digitally. Once the 10,000 signatures are gotten digitally, we're going to move to the other step, ladies and gentlemen, in holding the government accountable using the Magnitsky Act. One by one, they'll be going to jail. And if you want them to go to jail one by one, sign the Magnitsky Act. If you're a Jamaican and you're a patriot, and you look at all that is happening in Jamaica, and you decide, listen, you know what? We have to take things in our own hand. The easiest thing you can do is sign a digital petition, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you have to do. Nobody will know that you signed it. Yes? So you don't have to be scared. You don't have to be scared, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to be terrified. Sign the Magnitsky Act. For the persons on YouTube, same thing to you. Go, click my picture right there in any one of those comments that I put up. Go to my page. I need a tablet, you know. Because the tablet bigger down. Can't show the screen better though. See there? See there? See there? See there? See there? And then now, you click on the page and open up that part. And right under the picture, and where you see your subscribers, there's a note that says this channel is here. You know, an intro to the platform basically, a paragraph of intro. And you press more. Once you press more, right at the top, I'm going to continue to do this. See, the Magnitsky Act. You click the link and sign it. See? You click the link and sign it, guys. Sorry, TikTok. Everybody on TikTok, please go and subscribe to my YouTube page. Alright, there you go. See? That's the Magnitsky Act. You click on it. I have signed it already. Because I use my email and everything. See? 3,948. We have had 28 people sign it from yesterday till today, since I did my live. We need hundreds of people to sign it, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get the needle moving. All right, so I am encouraging, I am imploring you, do something. This is a minimum you can do to help your country to be rid of corruption and protect the human rights of the citizens of Jamaica. Colleen, good night. How are you, my darling? Bless you. Respect. All right, so let's go to Mr. Gold in here.
What's being touted back then, Minister is misleading the House. The position of the opposition on that matter was that he had indicated that the necessary resources to restore the grid was $350 million US. And he came here to say that the government would be advancing essentially 100% of the cat bond proceeds to JPS as a loan, 150 million US, and he had nothing to say about the other 200, which he said was needed. And we were asking, how is it prudent to proceed in that way? He has flown off the handle, got extremely unpleasant about it,
Yes.
and has still not answered that question, incidentally.
Yes.
The minister is misleading the House. The position of the 100% of the cat bond proceeds to JPS as a loan, 150 million US, and he had nothing to
Ingrid.
say about the other 200, which he said was needed. And we were asking, how is it prudent to proceed in that way? He has flown off the handle, got extremely unpleasant about it, and has still not answered that question, incidentally. We were never against providing financing to JPS per se, but it was the absence of a proper coherent plan to fill a gap which he said existed. He said existed. And he has still not indicated what is the actual cost of restoring the grid. He has not said what the actual cost of restoring the grid is, but he's indicated that this 150 million seems to be adequate to do it. I don't know where the original 350 to 400 million dollars US, which was what was being touted back then. What is the story with that, Minister?
Disappeared.
The minister is...
It disappeared, Mr. Golding. It disappeared.
We were never against
the Prime Minister. My Prime Minister is actually right. Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding. Alright, he's actually right. He did tell us, as a matter of fact, Darrell Vaz said the day after that there was a miscalculation and there's an extra 50 million. And now it's 200 million, and now, 150 million is what is left for help to deal with the thing. Him said that those are in articles. He said it, he put it out there. It's recorded. So it's not just 150 million. When Mark Golding was asking the question about what about the 200 million? Isn't it prudent to wait till them get the 200 million and then they give them the 150? Because it's touted that it's 350 million. So they need 200 million more. So now we have to question JPS. JPS, when Darrell Vaz is putting out these figures out there, if it is indeed not a situation where you need that much money, it's really 150 million you need. I want to ask the question, who actually was the persons who did the estimation? Where did this estimation get verified? Was it at Darrell Vaz mathematics? Because that shaky, 1, 2, 3, that shaky. Ask Damien Crawford if you think I lie, me I tell. So who did the estimation for the actual money for the 300 million? Who did that estimation? Where did that figure come from? Because it's on the answer. He said it in Parliament. It's not something that he said outside of Parliament. So we have him on record. Who came up with that figure? Was the Minister of Finance involved in that? Where did that estimate come from of 350 million? Are we to believe that there's skullduggery happened in between JPS and Darrell Vaz in regards to restoration of the grid? You can't move from 150 million, 350 million to 150 million being adequate enough. There's no way. With 200 million gone in that estimate, that is too much of an off figure. So now that raises even more questions. That raises even more questions. This is unbelievable. But let's hear Philip Paul. We're moving on. This just happened in Parliament today. Key highlights.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to join with the House Leader who earlier welcome back members to this segment of the term for this financial year, and also to extend best wishes to the Deputy Prime Minister, who we haven't seen in a while. We hope that he will be fully restored. He's doing well, very, very, very well. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Energy has reported, and I believe a bit prematurely, because in his last statement, we were told that the government was going to commit some resources, 150 million US dollars, to enable JPSCO to achieve full restoration of our country by the end of January. So sometimes we hear February creeping, but yeah. But I will give the minister the benefit of the doubt. And listen, we take no pleasure in people experiencing darkness. We want Jamaica to have a fully restored grid, and 100% of our people having access to electricity. And at no time did we berate the government
Easy
for
fix,
trying to assist in the funding. What we had a difficulty with was the arrangement that we were told about. And we still have a problem with it, because what the minister has said today is that those 50,000 customers in Westmoreland and elsewhere are not going to get their electricity. Mr. Speaker, on the 25th of November, the minister had announced that for the provision of the $150 million, the government will be ensuring full restoration
That's what he said.
of electricity by
Like and share the
January,
video, guys.
February.
Please.
I have a copy of the statement right here. It says full restoration. It says full restoration. January, February. So the question is, are we on track to achieve that? Because the information that I have received, and we take no glee in this, is that we are not going to be able to get 100% restoration before April, based on what is necessary to carry out the so-called last mile restoration.
Isn't that the amount of time that it was supposed to schedule to be anyway? Wasn't the reason why he wanted to give them the 150 million is to make sure that it is done by January, February, and not 3 months after? So how we reach at April, March, April, how we reach at April? What?
So, Minister, I want to go back, therefore, to that discussion we had in Parliament on that day, when we were told that the full amount that it will cost the JPSCO to restore electricity was $350 million US.
Wow.
I think the country deserves an explanation. I don't think a minister can come here and give that amount of money and not reflect on that, not come back to say to us it was a bad estimate and that it was in fact 150 million. It requires some explanation. And we are insisting on that. The minister had also mentioned that in lieu of that 150 million, the government...
You hear what them saying in the background? Move on. Or if you move on from 150 US? Verna, how you doing? 150 US, $24 billion, and people still in a Alivanda or Tapalin, in a Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth and them place there. I said it before, when the $150 million US came up. I said, you're telling me that the government can use $4 billion to help the people them, to fix back them house, in all of them area there? $4 billion, not million, 4 billion, out of the 150 US, when I calculated 24 billion, $4 billion. To actually make people have a house so they can get light too. Why would you turn on the light on the people in the darkness? And how long should they be in the darkness before the light come on and still don't have no house? You see this wicked and uncaring government? That's why I don't tolerate people coming in my comment section talking about 1 p.m. and 4 terminal and all this nonsense. You guys are the problem. You guys are the problem. Right? And this is not about PMP and JLP. This is about good governance and transparency and accountability, which the JLP appears to have no interest in. Darrell Vaz especially, because he used arrogance and bad mind, and it was the PMP doesn't want the people to get light, and them bad mind and them wicked. No, story come to bump. Mr. Philip Paulin is being very diplomatic, but this is nonsense. It is absolute nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. It's criminal as a matter of fact. Somebody needs to go to prison for this. Right? We don't want another used car, police car situation, or we don't need another the bus them, the school bus situation. Where's the rest of the bus them, Darrell Vaz? Where is it? Monica, how you doing? Where's the rest of the bus them? You promised 110 bus and we only have 63 or 66. Where's the rest of the bus? Now you're telling us what? Oh, it might happen in April. Are you serious? For this light restored? When we paid all this money to get it done at a certain time? Where's the accountability? When you put out things on social media every day and make it appear as if, oh yes, we're on track. Look at the JPS working, look at the trucks, look at the linesmen coming in. And now you're supposed to be offered more excuses after $150 million dash for them. So, and by the way, we the Jamaican people them have got to pay it back. With interest of 5%, 5.5%. This is unbelievable.
Has set certain terms in the agreement, in the loan agreement. And we have not yet seen a copy of that, and I'm hoping that the Parliament will be able to see a copy of the loan agreement so that we can put it to full scrutiny of the Jamaican people, so we know that we're getting value for our money.
So now it's January, and you're telling me that Darrell Vaz has not presented a copy to the PMP of the loan agreement? How is this acceptable, Jamaica? When I tell you that we have so much things to take to the street about, salute to my brother Ryan Campbell. When I tell you we have so many things that we have valid reason to take the streets peacefully about, to shout out at the top of our lungs, no confidence of the Jamaica Labour Party. It is actually disheartening the amount of things that we can actually present. Mighty God.
Again, I want to commend the workers of JPSCO. I want to commend the workers, right? I want to commend the people for the patience that they have displayed. I want to commend the representatives of the people who have been working alongside JPSCO to ensure orderly restoration. And I'm really hoping that we'll be able to meet that deadline. But I suspect, Minister, we're looking at April. Perhaps you can clarify that. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to join.
You guys know that Philip Paulwell knows.
And with the House Leader who earlier.
Philip Paulwell knows the business. He knows it. Now here comes the kicker now. You know. Hey, mighty God. Here comes the kicker, guys. Listen to this.
Westmoreland was at 18% restoration. That was the middle of December. We are now at the middle of January, and we are now at 49%.
There is no rebuilding of lines that has taken place from Ferris to Hodges in St. Elizabeth. To go further, Mr. Speaker, there is not one customer of JPS in Eastern Westmoreland that is currently with electricity.
I'm going to play that back. Father God, every day I ask, I'm a beckon unto you to please take the case. Take this one through, we can't manage. Please, just Father God, remove who for remove. Take them out. Whatever your will is, looking at their life, looking at their antecedents, you know what them are do, Father God. Anything at all, you decide if you do. And that we as a Father God. That's our want. Let your will be done on this land, Father God. Let your will be done. In this government, in this system, let your will be done. Let me play that back. What did Darval say a while ago?
Westmoreland was at 18%
In
restoration.
December.
That was the middle of December.
Yeah.
We are now at the middle of January, and we are now at 49%.
So, in December, they reached 18%. And in January, then the 49%. That sounds good, though. That sounds good, right? Yeah, man, that sounds good, man. Won't be here when Mr. Dayton can bless you now.
There is no rebuilding of lines that has taken place from Ferris to Hodges in St. Elizabeth. To go further, Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
there is not one customer of JPS in Eastern Westmoreland that is currently with electricity. Not one. Of the 17,000 persons, customers in Westmoreland that are currently without electricity, over 10,000 of them are from Eastern Westmoreland.
So, more than half, a large majority, more than half of the persons that were affected by light being taken away from them is in Eastern Westmoreland. More than 10,000 of them still don't have light. Darrell Vaz came here and said in December it is at 18% restoration. And now in January they are 47%. 47 minus 18, ladies and gentlemen, is 29. So 29% more of the people them that lose light, right? Gain have back light. If you was to do the numbers, you know, let me draw from my calculator. If you was to do the numbers, right, 17,000, yes, divided by 100 times 47, right, 7,990, and 7,000. So according to Darrell Vaz, 7,990 of the persons that was affected by a lack of electricity in Westmoreland got back their light. And according to Dr. Dayton Campbell, over 10,000 of those customers have no light. But if it's 17,000 and 47% are 7,990, something now add up. Based off what Mr. Darrell Vaz is saying, under 10,000 people don't get back light yet. And what Mr. Dr. Dayton Campbell is saying is that over 10,000 people don't get back light. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you the question. Who do you think is lying? Who do you think is misleading the people of Jamaica? Do you think it's Dr. Dayton Campbell? Or do you think it's Darrell Vaz? Put in a comment in the comment section, man, and I'm going like I'm afraid. Out of the two members of parliament that spoke in the House today on this matter, who do you think is misleading the people or lying about the numbers? Daryl Voss or Dr. Nathan Campbell? Please let me know what you think in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. That
Approximately 60% of them are from Eastern Westmoreland.
Wow.
You see, the substation is paradise to come so you can service Darliston and Betheltown and other areas up in the hill. And then from MAGNITSKY so you can service White House and other areas down on the flat. They have a proposal to do that restoration. But as of today, there is no customer in Eastern Westmoreland with electricity supplied by the JPS. None. Not one. Not one single solitary one. One dege, none.
No, sir. Mighty God. Not one person. Not one. Let me hear him say.
Information that I've shared today is coming to me directly from the management of the Jamaica Public Service.
Oh, so now a public service, a JPS a tell lie according to Daryl Voss. So hold on, Daryl Voss, as the Minister of Government, do you just take information without verifying it? As a Minister of Government that is supposed to be responsible, do you just take information from agencies without going and literally having people on the ground to verify? Isn't that something that Andrew Honest come at vloggers about? Spreading misinformation and disinformation? And you're speaking in the House of Representatives, the Honorable House of Representatives, and now your scapegoat here, so, is to tell us that, yeah, I mean, you know, listen, you know, I just, I heard it from somebody. I heard it from the JPS and I repeated it. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. What a dark day in Jamaica.
I will be addressing postcab tomorrow morning, and I undertake to give a response, informed response, to the questions that have been raised.
So hold on there. How comes you're not informed now? This is unacceptable. This is his rebuttal. He is going to... Mighty God, you know there's something wrong. Oh, Jesus, please, may I beg you, remove them, Father God. Please, may I beg you, God. Just remove them. We can't take no more. We can't take no more, please. May I beg you, Lord, Father God, may I understand. The people don't want to repent. People don't want to give you your praise. Father God, may I beg you to remove them, Father God. We can't take no more of this. Please, Father God, please, I beg you. What is going on? Did he just say an informed response, ladies and gentlemen? What was his statement before? An uninformed one? What is actually happening here?
Management of the Jamaica Public Service. I will be addressing postcab tomorrow morning, and I undertake to give a response, informed response, to the questions that have been raised here today.
Mr. Speaker, I met with Mr. Hugh Grant. I met with Mr. Hugh Grant, the CEO of JPS, and a group of members from JPS who are currently stationed at Sanders in the White House division in Eastern Westmoreland. And they went through and gave a full presentation to myself, the member from Western Westmoreland, and the member from Central Westmoreland. Right? No.
So Daryl Voss, you're lying? Are you lying to the people, Daryl Voss? Is Daryl Voss lying to the people, Jamaica? Is Daryl Voss indeed lying to the Jamaican people? So the information that Mr. Dr. Nathan Campbell is speaking, he's letting you know that the reference came directly from the JPS. What kind of bang around this Daryl Vaz that I bring the JPS in, ladies and gentlemen? Daryl Vaz seems to be bringing the JPS into disrepute. What is going on? And I want you guys to go and watch PMP Facebook page and look at this clip. And I want you to look at Daryl Vaz's face, in facial expression, when Dr. Nathan Campbell said this a while ago. It is very, very telling. That's all I will say. It is very, very telling, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make this up. Trina, how you doing? You simply cannot make this up.
Plan is to put a generator in Darliston so that you can serve the school, the police station, the health center, tax office, and I've asked them to go down as well to Cliscon Boys Home. That is a plan to do so.
Plan to do so. Not something that has been done. When Daryl Vaz came, I don't know, maybe he can't read the briefing. You know what, maybe that's, listen, I'm being so serious right now. I am trying to offer this man an olive branch. Maybe Daryl Vaz cannot read the briefing. Maybe that's why he misrepresented what the JPS is saying. Maybe he read the plan to do so and thought it meant that it already happened. In any event, it's high level of incompetence. Right? In any event, the least of it is, and that's not a minimal thing, you know. Incompetence as a leadership, you know, that is running the country, you know, is unsafe for the population, you know, where the Ministry of Energy is concerned, you know.
We will still not have any electricity up in Bethelton. When we say that there are persons who are not ready to receive light, that is true. And that is also not new. That is certainly not a Christopher Columbus moment. Because we said it from day one here that over 5,000 houses were totally destroyed. As a matter of fact, the member from Western Westmoreland was criticized and accused of crying crocodile tears when he said, why not take the money to rebuild the houses because you can't give light to people who don't have houses.
Who remember that? Who remember when Daryl Vaz accused, was it Daryl Vaz that accused the member of crying crocodile tears? Was it Daryl Vaz, ladies and gentlemen? Who remember that? I remember it very distinctly because I thought it was very distasteful that he would accuse the member of crying crocodile tears when it is clear that it was genuine. Who remember that?
Give light. That is true. And that is also not new. That is certainly not a Christopher Columbus moment. Because we said it from day one here that over 5,000 houses were totally destroyed. As a matter of fact, the member from Western Westmoreland was criticized and accused of crying crocodile tears when he said, why not take the money to rebuild the houses because you can't give light to people who don't have houses.
I believe that is Ian Hills. I believe that is Ian Hills.
Everybody's definition of dating.
Vaz. I believe that is Ian Hills. Daryl Vaz accuses Ian Hills of crying crocodile tears. Let's see if I can find that clip. Here it is.
Or see, I hear, or see,
two specific MPs in Westmoreland who came to, one went on social media and hit out against the JPS loan, and one in Parliament yesterday who grilled the Minister of Finance about the prudence of this. Yet still, one of them on social media up to recently was crying crocodile tears in one and then fighting against it. I want to leave this with you. As usual, I like to go to my Oxford dictionary and I Google crocodile tears. Tears are expressions of sorrow that are insincere. The origin, mid-16th century, said to be named from a belief that crocodile wept while devouring or luring their prey. That is the one on social media. The one yesterday that called we're crying Parliament last week. We have a thing called dry cry. I looked it up and it said dry cry meaning in Jamaica. In Jamaican patois, dry cry often refers to pretending to cry or shedding fake tears to gain sympathy, attention, or manipulate a situation. It implies a false display of sadness without being genuine. I leave that to the Jamaican people to judge. I hear.
So you guys remember? Huh? This is a TikTok moment. This is a TikTok moment. I'm telling you right now, this is a TikTok moment.
Hi.
This is a TikTok moment. This is a TikTok moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, want to remember this? This was in Parliament today, and I'm going to give the reference. Listen.
Westmoreland was at 18% restoration.
Pass that, go back. Start over. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this was in Parliament today. Listen to this from Dr. Dayton Campbell.
Westmoreland was at 18%.
Oh dear. I don't know why he keeps doing that. I don't know why he keeps doing that.
Also, that is a plan to do so. We will still not have any electricity up in Bethelton. When?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's examine something that happened in Parliament today. Listen to this.
We say that there are persons who are not ready to receive life. That is true. And that is also not new. That is certainly not a Christopher Columbus.
Not a Christopher Columbus.
Because we said it from day one here, that over 5,000 houses were totally destroyed.
You sure did.
As a matter of fact, the member from Western Westmoreland was criticized and accused of crying crocodile tears when he said, why not take the money to rebuild the houses, because you can't give light to people who don't have houses.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you guys forgot, here's the moment he's talking about, that he went on JIS at a conference, and this is what Darrell Voss said.
I hear or see two specific MPs in Westmoreland who came to, one went on social media and hit out against the JPS loan, and one in Parliament yesterday who grilled the Minister of Finance about the prudence of this. Yet still, one of them on social media up to recently was crying crocodile tears in one and then fighting against it. I want to leave this with you. As usual, I like to go to my Oxford dictionary. And I Google crocodile tears.
The man, Google it, ladies and gentlemen.
Tears are expressions of sorrow that are insincere.
Insincere.
The origin, mid-16th century, said to be named from a belief that crocodile wept while devouring or luring their prey. That is the one on social media.
Yes.
The one yesterday that called We're Crying Parliament last week.
Yes.
We have a thing called dry cry.
Oh.
I looked it up and it said dry cry meaning
Yes.
in Jamaica. In Jamaican patois, dry cry often refers to pretending to cry or shedding fake tears
Fear.
to gain sympathy, attention, or manipulate a situation.
Manipulate?
It implies a false display of sadness
Wow.
without being genuine.
Wow.
I leave that to the Jamaican people to judge.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Darrell Vaz insinuated some very nasty things about Ian Hales and Mr. Dr. Dayton Campbell in their genuine feeling for the people in an area that they live and see. This is what he did, Darrell Vaz. Wow. I just wanted to give you guys the reference to let you know that, yes, this actually happened. It actually did. All right, I told you it was a TikTok moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
No, the minister said in his statement as well that 21,000 persons are not ready to receive and that JSIF will be working with them. Now, as far as I am aware, not ready to receive means that the structure is not in place. What JSIF wrote to us about are for persons who already have a structure in place and would not apply to that 21,000.
Devil in the details.
It would not apply to the 21,000 who don't have any structure.
Yes.
It would apply to the persons who need wiring of a structure.
Yes.
That is totally different.
Totally, obviously.
It is easy. Easy, Mr. Speaker. It is easy. It is easy for members in here who have constituencies with electricity.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what is very distasteful? Members of Parliament on the on the ruling party laughing about the seriousness of what persons are facing in not only Eastern Westmoreland but all of the parishes that were affected. Sometimes I wish, something would fly in their throats when they're laughing. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, true. I wish a fly would just, yeah, man, just momentarily, nothing to them momentarily, yeah, man, as a signal, Sometimes I wish it would happen like that. Because they have no heart, they have no soul. They're living their best life, collecting our tax dollars while laughing at the struggle of the people. I wonder if it's because, they are disgusting freedom. They are disgusting. I wonder if it's because, the areas are largely dominated by the People's National Party voters. I wonder.
I have the privilege of representing the people of Eastern Westmoreland.
Yes, sir.
And I think when they elected a representative, they elected one from among them to go out and make representation on their behalf. It is easy, Mr. Speaker, for members who are not affected to laugh and say anything they feel like. It is much different when you have an entire constituency of over 30,000 persons who currently do not have electricity. It is totally different.
And let me just make a clarification, very important clarification.
He always need to make clarification. Don't you notice? Why is he not on point with the information that he's putting out? Let us hear it.
Westmoreland has 34,603 customers. 17,096 are out, or 49%.
17,000. How much? How much you said? 17,000 what?
The government of Jamaica, very important clarification. Westmoreland has 34,603 customers.
Yes.
17,096 are out, or 49%. The government of
Say
Jamaica,
that again.
603 customers. 17,096 are out, or 49%.
17,000.
Westmoreland was at 18%.
17,096.
The government of Jamaica,
17,096 are out of light. 17,096 are 49%. The government of Jamaica what?
does a lot of good things. But what we could not do is direct where Melissa made landfall.
What the? Yo, somebody can't hold him and shake him, man. You know, just a gentle, you know. Brother. I'm having a Saturday moment. Saturday, how are you? I'm having a Saturday moment.
And therefore, a lot of what is being said here is not because of any other reason of the geographic location of the landing and the damage that was done.
Daryl Vaz is suggesting that the reason why the opposition is doing what the opposition is supposed to do is because it is the geographical location. That is no other reason. It's not because they are genuinely advocating on behalf of Jamaican people. He did it again. He's being consistent with his statement about crocodile tears, you know. He's being consistent with his statement about crocodile tears. Wow, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Minister also made reference to the trajectory of the storm and where it landed. I'm happy that we are now concluding that it did make landfall in eastern Westmoreland, because that is something that we have denied for quite a while. And Mr. Speaker, it doesn't matter about the geographical location. A generator can be placed in Betheltown. It can be done, sir. Right? It can be done. And 150 million US can buy a generator for the people in Betheltown.
150 US can buy a generator. 150 million US can buy a generator for the people of Betheltown. Go back. Let me hear you say exactly.
And Mr. Speaker, it doesn't matter about the geographical location. A generator can be placed in Betheltown. It can be done, sir. Right? It can be done. And 150 million US can buy a generator for the people in Betheltown.
That's right.
Remember, makes it seem as if that the work has stopped today. Restoration continues.
At no time did I accuse the JPS of stopping the work.
No time.
Which was said just now.
No
At
time.
no time. To the contrary, Mr. Speaker, I said that I met with the CEO and his team, and I said that they have a command center from which they gave me an update. That is what I said.
Westmoreland was at 18% restoration.
So we haven't heard anything cogent from Daryl Vaz in that clip. We haven't heard anything substantial. Just a bunch of nonsense and accusation towards the intent of the opposition's advocacy. Their tears that they cried, their genuine tears that they cried for the people. Because a human being, a real human being, not a reptile, cannot go to Westmoreland and see the disaster. Not just Westmoreland, all of the areas that were affected, and see the disaster and not. You can't be there and not shed a tear, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be an alien. I don't know if they are aliens or if Daryl Vaz is an alien. I don't know. I cannot speak to him being a human being or not. All I know is that aliens are among us. And if you're not an alien, you're going to have shed some type of tears for the people in those areas when you see what they are going through. But maybe because of the geographical location, Daryl Vaz doesn't really care. You see how that works? Just like how we accuse them of being, what they call it, selective outrage. Maybe the reason why he's not outraged is because of the geographical location. Would that be a fair question? I think so. I think that would be a fair question. Not sure? Sure. Mm-hmm. Let's go to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Member from
Isaac
West
Buchanan.
Central, St. James. Right, thanks. Go ahead.
Cannot support motion 4. I don't think as a country we are here to, we are there yet. Jamaica, as it is a two-society Jamaica. The reality is that crime is so high, it's hard at sometimes to regulate. Whenever the night comes, many things can happen. To protect the integrity of the electoral process and increase even by 1 hour would be dangerous. We should look or try to consider especially the geographical locations of some areas, whether it could at all, even with the advancements in technology, support an increase in the voting hour. As it is right now, the integrity of the voting process, the containment, the best way to contain is the time constraints. There are many other things that can be considered in terms of how ROPA, with an amendment, can regulate how the private sector treats with the ability of voters to get the time to actually go and vote without fear of intimidation or loss of income or whatever it is that would prevent them from participating in the process. But one of the greatest ways to protect the integrity of the process is to be in keeping with the time in our current state. Now, even as this bill is intended, or this motion is intended to increase the time without the technology being implemented across all constituencies and in all polling stations. In the last election, and using the data and using experience and the information, there are polling stations that don't even have light, and it was still used. And we do have information. I can speak in relation to Portland Eastern. There were polling stations that were allowed to stay beyond the 5 p.m. time. And what happened during that time, the integrity of the voting process was compromised. Not the last election. That is exact at 5. But to increase it at 6, and we're dealing with the time, and we're dealing with how the sun rises and how the sun sets, and that's something that we have to look at. And so we're talking about all of those things when we think about the integrity, right? And I don't need to coin a term, but to say that the thieves come out at night. right? And people need to understand that. I could direct that to you as well, but you're not you haven't said that on record. But while it is that we must, when considering the electoral process, to ensure that voters and the voting process is not compromised and persons are disenfranchised, time constraints is also important given the reality of Jamaica. So I just simply, in relation to motion 4, to say that I would invite this house to also reject the increase in time. I do support you on motion 1 in its. Thank you.
Big up to Mr. Isaac Buchanan, that's very clear, and I agree with him. I don't support them extending the time. I really don't. There's a constitutional clear argument as to whoever is in the line at that hour, they would just deal with them and then finish up. But to extend it to 6 would mean that nightfall would come down too much, and then the security of the ballots would not only be one under question, but the vulnerability would expand. And therein lies a big problem, ladies and gentlemen. Therein lies a big problem. Yes? Now let's move to this. A lot of this I have not listened to. It says, whoa, voting methods. Mr. Kenneth Russell speaks on it as well. Let's hear what he has to say.
This can be is welcomed, and Mr. Speaker, I want to briefly speak to two of the motions. The first being the second motion having to do with the ROPA. And in this regard, the suggestion by the motion that we change the way that someone votes is welcomed and probably long overdue. We do have a large segment of our community, of our society, who believe an X indicates wrong. And so for that reason, as simple as it sounds, do not engage in the voting process. And so I welcome that aspect of the motion.
Really?
As the other member said previously in our contribution, I would want us to give consideration to the implement which is used, because this can be a security feature in the voting process, but also to restrict the kinds of marks that would be accepted instead of making it open to any mark. There are marks which are positive, and people might find that more acceptable as a way of indicating their vote. So with those two suggestions, I am in support of the motion. Motion 6, which has to do with the voters list. Again, in support with a couple suggestions for consideration in terms of changes. The links between the different agencies that have custody of data. I think we should have a conversation, or if the motion can facilitate us ensuring that there's a stronger linkage among these agencies, namely the RGD, the EOJ. I mentioned this, Mr. Speaker, because what that would mean is that the verification process, the process of removing those who've passed on or who have migrated from the voters list, would be almost, well, easier, not automatic, but certainly easier than it is now, but controlled by these agencies once you have, for example, proof of death, and that can be done without having to revert to the local EOJ office. The other aspect of this, which I think is important to look at, is making the re-verification process, having a required time frame for the re-verification process. So at the moment, we do not have an established time frame, and I think a periodic review, 10, 15 years, might be, we link it to the census, would be one way to go, just to ensure that we're not back here in 10 years saying we need money for re-verification. And so, again, with these two suggestions for consideration, I would support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Russell is very cogent about his positions in Parliament. He doesn't play any games, he puts it on record. And later on, we're going to see the value with not just him, but many of the members of the People's National Party and the positions that they took. We're going to see it. I'm telling you. Just you wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. All right, like and share this video. Thank you. But where are we now? Mrs. Nita Garvey. Listen to this.
motions, and that is motion number 1. I'd only like to capacity to be able to manage all of what needs to be done. I'd only like to speak to one of the motions, and that is motion number 1. Mr. Speaker, I am in full support of this motion, especially where there is an entire section of the constituency I represent, which was inherited from Central St. Catherine, not calling the name though, where all of the roads in every single scheme is bad. And in 2026, where we have tax-paying citizens who would have made tremendous sacrifice to purchase homes, to expand those homes, and to make sure that they form community groups and have neighborhood watches and strong community unions, they have to be wearing one shoes to come out of the road. When they reach out the real main road, they have to put on another shoes
A lie.
to go into the taxi to go to work in 2026.
The man, people need a designated shoes to hold the road bad. Them can't wear them good shoes on the road. So even the shoes where you are wearing are safe. Yo, no. Hold on, wait. This is another TikTok moment. This is another TikTok moment. I never listen. I didn't watch. Listen, what? Ladies and gentlemen, me have to wonder when Mrs. Natalie Nita Garvey just say a while ago. Me kind of confused. So, I want you to listen with me and want to let me know if I want me just hear she say, she actually said. Listen to this.
Where all of the roads in every single scheme is bad. And of this motion, especially where there is an entire section of the constituency I represent, which was inherited from Central St. Catherine, not calling the name though, where all of the roads in every single scheme is bad. And in 2026, where we have tax-paying citizens who would have made tremendous sacrifice to purchase homes, to expand those homes, and to make sure that they form community groups and have neighborhood watches and strong community unions, they have to be wearing one shoes to come out of the road. When they reach out the real main road, they have to put on another shoes to go into the taxi to go to work in 2026.
So you're telling me that the roads are so bad, the people in can't wear them good shoes, Spanny, or them work shoes, in fear that them work shoes are going to mash up? Where is the spark? Where's the spark program? Don't tell me, say, is the hurricane mash up the road then? This was an issue before the hurricane, yes? It's an issue that got worse after the hurricane. That is accurate. You would have to have some level of standard where the road is concerned to limit the damage of the road. These appear to be extremely dangerous road conditions. People them shoes not safe, Jamaica. But this is the best government. I want to have the best PM and 4th term loading. We not under one serious level of mental slavery here. Yeah, man. Serious level of mental slavery. Mighty God. Boy, I don't know where I am, man. Jamaica. Uno okay with this? One scheme, you know, we're talking about a scheme. My goodness. No, man, this is serious, brother.
I am most distraught for the people of Lakemore, Villemore, Strathmore Gardens, Avon Park, Monticello. I am very, very distraught because them is more than bastard children. They are forgotten and have been forgotten for decades.
Wow.
And I am afraid that I don't make the excuse that the road does not belong to this one or that one. I refuse to tell anybody that when I ask them to make me their representative. I believe we have a responsibility here. It doesn't matter which authority you're talking about. The municipal corporation must deal with municipal roads because we must have that kind of flexibility. And we can tell you there was a REACH program in this house that took forever because the National Works Agency certainly just did not have the capacity to be able to manage all of what needs to be done. So we don't need to be eliminating another authority to be able to assist with the process of getting these roads repaired. Another matter, Mr. Speaker, relates to the debushing of unoccupied lots in these housing schemes as well. They buy the lots, they go overseas, and it is overgrown, and it attracts rodents, it attracts criminals, it even attracts crocodile. In Strathmore Gardens, there was a crocodile in the bush on a lot, and we had to be calling NEPA to assist, and I'm simply saying this is the road on which there are 2 children's homes, right? So we are at a place now where, the member from Southwest, you know how passionate I feel about this one. We have a responsibility to the people in the housing schemes who continue to make the sacrifice to do what we ask them to do, to work hard and buy a little piece of this rock named Jamaica. And then when they do so, they have to be hiding because they are not proud of where they live. They're demotivated. It is depreciating the value of their homes as well. Nobody no want to buy no house down there, so because of no taxis will go on those roads anyway. So they must walk from the entrance to their homes. It is time really come for true to make sure. Remember, I support you 150%. I'm also thinking that we need to attach a caveat to them people when them go to the tax office, they must pay. If they're not paying to maintain these lots, we must cut those lots, attach the money to it and make them pay. Every time you pay your tax, you must pay for the maintenance of your lot. And if you don't do that, then we have other sanctions, right? And I'm simply saying, but we have to make it law so that it is not incumbent on any discretionary power of any municipality. No, the law doesn't state that you can. Put a caveat, you cannot. So I'm suggesting that we need to move a foot further instead of just saying simply, let us do better. Let us put the things in place to get the better done. I'd only like to speak to
crocodiles. Wow. Owners of those houses, yeah man, no need for the better that. Crocodiles though? On your property. Crocodiles. Yeah man. That's our recipe for disaster. With the roads them, the way they are. Crocodiles. Wow. I have to move on because there's so much. Mr. Golden again. Alright.
And see the roads which are, just to say I too support the first motion. I think it's absolutely horrendous when you go to these schemes and see the roads which have essentially been abandoned by all authorities and people pay their money, pay off mortgages, they're in the schemes and they can't rely on any authority to maintain those roads. And I've seen it over and over again in several different parts of Jamaica. So I support that motion. I would also say that I think the argument was made, well, the authority should only have to take it over if the roads have been built by the developer. But at the end of the day, who suffers are the residents. And the risk should be borne by the authorities, not by the residents, because the authorities can put in place laws and measures and conditions to ensure that the developer does what they're supposed to do. So the owners should be shifted to the authority and taken up for the residents. So I support that. The only thing...
Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear a true leader fighting for the rights of the people of this country? We have a government that is quick to blame the victims and not blame and put the responsibility where it's supposed to be. Christopher Tufton has done it so many times and we're going to get to him. Remember when the 25 babies died at the Jubilee Hospital? what did he say? The parents. Parents was blamed because the babies were premature. Not that premature babies is a death sentence anywhere else where you have modern technology and good medicine and medicinal practices. Right? But in Jamaica, he wants us to believe that having a premature baby born is a death sentence. So therefore it's the mother's fault. It's not the hospital. Lord, I'm telling you, man, I really cannot wait for the Lord to just extend his hand. Just extend his hand. Reach out, Father. Just reach out. I tell you, what more can we bear? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You're ambitious, you're hardworking, you're not thief, nobody, you're not rob nobody. You take out mortgage and take time, pay away. AI, big up yourself. Row here, big up. Right? You're working hard and paying your mortgage. In a scheme, And you're telling me that the developers don't get any sanctions? When situations like this occur, you want to give sanctions to the people that is already sacrificing to pay for these mortgages. If you give them something good and they destroy it, the onus is on them. But when you have faulty development, it has to be on the authorities. It has to be on the individuals or the company that did the building. And if there's not the right sanctions, the blame goes to the government. Because the government is supposed to protect the people. Interest. That's why the people vote for them. That is their mandate, to protect the people's interests.
I think it is a small point. I was saying that in the motion, in the last prayer, it speaks to these roads being transferred to local government, KSAC, which no longer exists, KSAMC, and any other local authority, including, but not limited to, the National Works Agency. I was just making the point, National Works Agency is not a local authority. So the way that's worded is a little inelegant and inaccurate, but it can be fixed. On the other motions to do with the Representation of the People's Act, I endorse what the Leader of Opposition, this is in the House, has said. I think the House should not rush to come to a conclusion on amendments to ROPA without the considered input of the ECJ and the staff who are responsible for elections. That is a tradition. And speaking for myself, these technical matters, I would not want to vote in favor of something that I may not have considered all the relevant factors and end up having been told that we've supported something that is unworkable or is inappropriate or that we ought to have voted against. I would love to see this being sent elsewhere to the ECJ specifically for their comments before we take any position on these resolutions to do with the ROPA, the Representation of People Act. And I wouldn't want our side to vote in favor of motions which have not had that opportunity, because we've been endorsing a procedure which I think is flawed and is inconsistent with a good tradition that has been built up over many years in this parliament. In relation to the last one, which I think is to do a constitutional amendment, it has very far-reaching implications. It's essentially eliminating the restriction on dual citizenship for membership of the parliament. And I do think that the public has strong views on this, and I believe that we should have a process before, again, the parliament rushes into that kind of thing. So I would support what the member for West Central St. James has suggested in relation to that last motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very clear. Sound argument. The man is humble enough to say, listen, I'm not the expert on this, so let's visit the experts and hear what they have to say. What are their recommendations before we go and follow this thing through and vote on it? And in terms of dual citizenship, really and truly, Jamaica will have to decide, That has to be something that they approach the people of Jamaica about. And I'm not talking about one or two Jamaicans. I'm talking about a substantial amount of Jamaicans. there needs to be an online, but then again, if they do an online thing, then can manipulate that. But online would be the best option so more people can get engaged with it in terms of a vote. And I think there should be a minimum vote count to decide on the views. Do you, as a people, are you okay with people having dual citizenship and becoming members of parliament in Jamaica? And it's interesting that the government up today that talked about Mark Golding's British citizenship, that is legal, by the way, not against the Constitution, right? So they want to make an amendment change for persons living in the United States and so. Very interesting. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys willing to open up that can of worms? I believe there needs to be a trade-off. And it should have been done a long time ago. If somebody wants to have dual citizenship and come to live in Jamaica and serve as a leader of this country, we need to have direct link to America without a visa. We are way too close to them for us to be needing a visa to go there. I am so serious about that. Right? They have been too involved in our politics with the CIA and all of that. And Siaga. For we needing a visa to go to America. It is downright a disgrace, in my opinion, that this has been the status quo all this time. So I don't have a problem with in terms of dual citizenship and the government. I don't have a problem with it staying how it stays. No dual citizen. Not to be no leader of no MP and no prime minister. From that aspect. That's my position. And I'm sticking to it. Moving on. Where are we now? Dr. Angela Brownberg. Listen.
As it relates to, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to start with just a couple of comments as it relates to number 2, motion number 2, which has to do with the amendment to the Representation of the People's Act. I want to say that it is obvious that the member has taken some time to look at the process of election and to look at some of those areas that are troublesome and that need attention. I must say that for the second one, which is the one I'm talking about, which really deals with introducing other implements other than the black lead pencil to be used to make a mark for the candidate, and also where it refers to also introducing other marks that could signal the choice of candidates. I must say that I vehemently oppose both, and I'll tell you why. At first glance, it sounds like something that makes sense and that is easy to do. However, in my head, I am still very clear of the Jamaica in which I live. And I am also very clear that we still talk about the golden ballot. We still talk about individuals who pay persons to come in and vote a particular way. And who, no, I tell you, Moran Bay teaches me well. No, Moran Bay by-election teaches me well. And it wasn't on this side that those things were happening. So let us be very clear, very clear. And so, my concern, Mr. Speaker, is that we could be in an election, for example, like the by-election in Moran Bay, and individuals from the other side pay voters to go into the polling station and to make a mark in a particular way. Because we have now would have made changes for a specific mark to be used. It would then clearly identify, let's say, of the 20 persons that you have targeted to get a vote in a particular way, you would be able to say 18 of them delivered. because they had that specific mark, or because they went in and used a specific implement. When individuals in this very house presented candidates who were either Israeli citizens, US citizens, yes, born in England, yes, knowing and agreeing on the two major qualifications, none of which they would have violated. So we are good. But what they have done with a brave face of hypocrisy is to stand on that and turn around and look at someone that they know very well, went to school in Jamaica, went to school with many of them, born here, not even his birth certificate as Jamaican was able to staunch the criticism from those hypocrites who were putting forward candidates who were in the same position, if not worse. In fact, worse is in fact that member who as is shown allegiance to the US, but sat in this parliament, yes, with the cover of the hypocrisy from her colleagues. And then you have the effrontery, to present before us this motion number 7, as if you really have it at heart, the real protecting the Constitution and protecting Jamaica. Rubbish. And I am saying that those individuals who support motion 7 or who bring this motion to us, them should have burned in fire, burned in hell. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to start with just a couple of...
You know, I truly love that woman. Because that's the same thing I said. Remember, I just said it, you know. Remember what they did to Mr. Mark Golding. And if you notice, Miss Angela Brown-Burke is very loyal to Mr. Mark Golding, you know. She are one of them who burn the fire, you know. She stand up for Mr. Mark Golding, you know. You know who else? Dr. Dayton Campbell. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it the truth? Where is the lie told by Mrs. Angela Brown-Burke, ladies and gentlemen? Where is the lie? Where is the lie? Where is the lie?
At first glance, it sounds like something that makes sense. Oppose both, and that could signal the choice of candidates. And
we're going to come back to that. We have to come back to Miss Brown-Burke. Have to come back to Miss Brown-Burke. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, mighty God. Let's go to the able hands of our brother Andre Stevens from Panaja News, PB TV News Jamaica on YouTube. Let's go to his able hands. Alright. And hear him address the situation and this story, because honestly, it's on his platform that I heard it. Yes? Yeah, man. It's on his platform that I heard it, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm being totally honest. If there's some hear it first. And you know, I try to be honest, you know, I really do. I really try to be honest. I don't want to mislead you. You know, I really don't. Alright, so where is it? Ah, here we go. Let's go here. What is Andre going on with? What is this? Hold on. You never listen to that part yet.
Line of this head. To help me offset the cost for the loss when we make today Jamaica.
Yes.
It reasonable, no? For this class when we are put together.
Give me a
every
second.
night.
I have to take a
And
break.
it's a fiery class, Jamaica. And then
This is a bathroom break. Yes. So don't go anywhere. Marvin, how are you doing? No, Marvarine, how are you?
we're going to fire up the nation now.
Yes.
We're going to fire up the nation right now.
Fire it up.
If you need my Zelle, reach out to me. You need that sign. Tune in on the show. Long in the
Oh, that is somebody. Hey, calling them tough enough. Hey, calling them tough enough.
At the University of the West Indies Hospital. Jamaica. You remember when Dr. Roger Hunter, in that viral voice note, Jamaica, he spoke, Jamaica, about some nefarious activities that were happening at the hospital. You remember he spoke about the devious acts happening at the hospital. When the Auditor General audit is finished, Jamaica. The Auditor General's audit is finished. And if you think it was ordinary, it is damning. It's a damning report, Jamaica. It is a damning report. The report says over $521 million of contracts were awarded by the UE hospital without procurement guidelines followed. Over 521. That means almost $500 million Jamaican dollars. $500 million Jamaican dollars without any proper procurement guidelines.
How that works? How that works?
How that work, Jamaica? How that work? But I'm not surprised. Because the leadership at the UE hospital is Christoph Dunn's best friend, Dr. Carl Bruce. But Dr. Hunter, in that viral voice note, has been vindicated. He spoke to the fact that procurement guidelines were not being followed.
My husband is 6'5", and today we're trying first Tai Chi practice. Hope it's worth it. This is him after 2 months of Tai Chi. He is definitely stronger and hotter than 10 years ago.
Make it a habit. 7 minutes of Tai Chi every morning, all the way for 1 month. In 1 week, you feel better. In 2 weeks, you look better. In 1 month,
Sure.
your wife won't believe your results.
But you think you hear anything yet, Jamaica? Listen to this part of the Auditor General report. The Auditor General is saying tonight, Jamaica, I am tired of this country. I am tired of this country. Not when he was talking all of the things them, but who not qualified, who never passed the exam then. Zoom it in the Ishmael. Zoom it in and let us see. The University Hospital of the West Indies awarded 51 contracts totaling $521 million, for which the Auditor General found no procurement documentation. 51 contracts without no documentation, Jamaica. The Auditor General also discovered that the UE Hospital used its tax exemption status to import goods, Courtney, for a private company, and later purchased those same goods from the private company. Out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. I'm going to say it again, Jamaica. The UE Hospital used the tax exemption to carry in Jamaica. The UE Hospital used tax exemption to carry in goods for a private company. company. What can go so?
What can go so?
Who is the procurement officer? Who is the purchasing officer at the university? Hospital of the West Indies.
Well, I don't know.
Have you ever listened and seen these kind of skullduggeries? This is untenable. This is untenable. So I want to ask tonight. I want to ask tonight, Jamaica. What was the item that was carried in for this private company? Was it the drill? Was it the drill, Jamaica, that was carried in for a private company called Meditech? I am asking, I don't know. We need to know, Jamaica. We need to know. We need to know tonight, Jamaica. Who carried in this drill? Who? Who? What company? What did they need to carry in? And did they turn around and purchase back the item from the private company? Jamaica, look how many people suffering in this land. Jamaica, look how you and I, look how many people in our beloved island is suffering. Look at the people in our beloved island suffering. And you're telling me tonight. You're telling me tonight that somebody not going to prison for this? You're telling me tonight, Jamaica, that this is going to be another walk in the park, and then a minister just come and announce that, oh, there's going to be a committee to oversee what is happening at the University of the West Indies Hospital. No, Tufton. No. No. You're not getting away this time, Tufton. You're not getting away. No committee. No, you people are too fucking wicked. Only too damn wicked. Only too fucking wicked in this country. Only too
Right, because we need a divine intervention. We're tired of the labor right. We're tired of the green people.
Only too fucking wicked in this country.
Say that again.
Too damn wicked in this country.
Don't look up Moringa. Seriously, just skip this. You walk past it in the market. You hear the name here and there. But nobody tells you what Moringa actually is. And honestly, that's the part that frustrates me. Because this one plant has 23 times the iron of spinach, 7 times the calcium of milk, 11 times the vitamin A of carrots, 10 times the vitamin C of oranges, 15 times the potassium of bananas, 4 times the fiber of oats. And somehow, you never hear about it. Meanwhile, people are spending hundreds on supplements that don't even come close. Moringa contains 92 of the 102 nutrients your body uses in one simple leaf. But the truth is, this isn't the only ingredient nobody explains properly. There are dozens of everyday herbs and foods with incredible potential, but people use them wrong, combine them wrong, or don't use them at all because nobody taught them how. That's exactly why I created the Natural Healing Handbook. After 20 years working with herbal medicine, I realized most people don't need more pills. They need clear, simple guidance on how to use the ingredients already in their kitchen. Inside this handbook, you'll find 100...
What kind of committee can see that we get back our $521 million?
What?
So can you imagine if that is happening at UA Hospital? What is happening at Cornwall Regional? If that is happening at UA Hospital, can you imagine what is happening at Cornwall Regional? Them bare face, them dry eye, them...
Andre, calm down. Adi, where you deal with? No, I'm not invisible. I had to use the bathroom. I explained that earlier. So I'm back. Wow. Woo. Thank you guys for, still sticking around with me. The real supporters. Pick up on yourself. I have to go back because I was not hearing clearly what's going on here. I heard something about some 500 million. May I speed it up? I don't hear it already, so never speed it up for me.
Jamaica.
Yes.
You remember when Dr. Roger Hunter, in that viral voice note?
Yes.
In that viral voice note, in that viral voice note, Jamaica,
Right.
spoke. He spoke, Jamaica, about some nefarious activities that were happening at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You remember he spoke about the devious acts happening at the hospital.
Right.
When the Auditor General audit is finished, Jamaica, the Auditor General's audit is finished. And if you think it was ordinary, it is damning.
Mm-hmm.
It has damning report, Jamaica.
Yes.
It is a damning report. The report says over $521 million of contracts were awarded by the UE hospital without procurement guidelines followed. Over 521. That means almost $500 million Jamaican dollars. $500 million Jamaican dollars without any proper procurement guidelines. Oh.
What? Bro, what is the hell going on? Bro, what the hell going on? On then with, sorry. Yo, the hell is going on, fam? How did we get here? 500?
How that work? How that work, Jamaica? How
21 million? Mighty God.
But I'm not surprised. Because the leadership at the UE hospital is Christopher's best friend.
Oh!
Dr. Carl Bruce.
My God. Who remember Dr. Carl Bruce? Andre and head boy, make me know him. Straight up. Andre and head boy. Oh my God.
But Doctor.
Oh my God.
Hunter, in that Bible voice note, has been vindicated.
Right.
He spoke to the fact that procurement guidelines were not being followed.
Mm-hmm.
But you think you hear anything yet, Jamaica? Listen to this part of the Auditor General report. The Auditor General is saying tonight, Jamaica, I am tired of this country. I am tired of this country. Where he was talking all of the things them, but who not qualified, who never passed the exam then.
Yes.
Zoom it in the Ishmael. Zoom it in and let us see. The
me have it right there, so. Alright. See what I want to say. It says absence of strategic documents and procurement planning. UHWI procurement management has undermined by the absence of critical strategic documents. The UE procurement management was undermined by the absence of critical strategic documents. UHWI failed to fulfill its obligation to prepare the required annual procurement plans, providing only 2 out of 7 mandated plans, must between 2018 to 2019 and 2024 to 2025. The board of directors did not approve the plans, and the 2 plans omitted essential information such as item counts. What? Such as item counts? What you mean? You mean say them buy 600 item and they tell us them buy 600 item, but no, what's a matter of fact, they're not tell you because there's no count. This is skullduggery. This is criminality. This is corruption. Procurement timelines. The suppliers, procurement methods, performance indicators, despite the requirements set on the government of Jamaica's public procurement handbook. Additionally, UHWI failed to provide any approved strategic plan for this period. Even though US $186,600 was paid to 2 consultants for strategic operational reviews in 2022 and 2024, as in reference in case 3.4. So they paid people for consultation for strategic and operational reviews. And yet they were not strategic in their operations. Yo, they must be a scam, brother. They must be a high level scam. When I mean high level, I talk about, yo, you got school for learn how to thief like this, brother. This is a high level scam. You paid somebody, you paid consultants, plural, 186,600 US for consultants on strategic and operational reviews. That means them review your strategic and operational plans. And you still did not have proper documentation, even though the documents clearly show that these are mandated for you to have. So you wasted $186,600 per consultants and did the wrong thing anyway. Yo, this are not even, I've got to deal with this all in the morning. This is crazy. This is crazy, bro. This is insane. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. I have to do this in an entire show by itself. This is unbelievable. Furthermore, UHWI had not submitted annual reports and audits financial statements for 2019 to 2020 to 2024 to 2025, detailing how approximately 65 billion in subventions were used. 65 billion. The lack of these key documents may have contributed to operational deficiencies and negatively affected governance standards in public procurement. Jesus. Operational deficiencies, you know. That is how UHWI running, you know. Operational deficiencies, you know, ladies and gentlemen. We cost people lives, you know. We cost babies lives. Operational deficiencies, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to understand what that means now, what it could mean, you know. Not having a CT scan. No, man, no, man, no. No, ladies and gentlemen. This is too much. When it's... We're not ready for March. Yo, if you're not serious, you don't even bother tell, yo, we just go march, brother. Just get up and we're going to march straight to where we march to. Wherever the government there, wherever they reside. $1 million people strong, brother. Mighty God. It says here that non-compliance with GOJEP portal requirements following circular number 18 issued by the Minister of Finance and Public Service on the 23rd of June, all public entities were required to conduct and publish procurement proceedings through the government of Jamaica electronic procurement portal from August 1st, 2023. You hear that? All public entities were required to conduct and publish procurement proceedings through the government of Jamaica electronic procurement. So this should have been done. And this is from August 1st, 2023. It's a requirement. So why is it at 2024, 2025? the right procurement procedures are not being followed. Why is that? You know what? Let me save these images. Yeah, I'm just gonna save these images. Yeah, man. Right now from computer, from the Auditor General. Yeah, man. The image I was saved. These are too important. Never going to evidence file. Believe you me, this is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. And then Christopher Tufton's response is what? Tufton announces committee to review governance and accountability issues at UHWI amid Auditor General report. No, a responsive government again. Why people miss so tired? On a life in tonight. Everybody asleep, no comment. But we thank you for being here. Yeah, man. Winsinko. St. Thomas Man Church was stabbing death for brother during New Year's Day altercation. Hear them something. New Year's Day, you know. Community water filters commission in Westmoreland. Business executive Patrick Hilton is the new PSOJ president. PSOJ, this man is a man of importance. You need to check out his antecedents. Birthday celebrations spark unexpected romance for Adriel, and Daniel. Courtney Ashley wanted in multiple murders, captured in gated Portmore community since police. Captured. Them not kill him? Police operators in St. Catherine have arrested Courtney Bloodstain Ashley, an alleged gang leader wanted for multiple murders in St. Andrew. Ashley was apprehended on the Monday in a gated Phoenix Park community of Portmore, St. Catherine, according to police. Wow. Paid partnership. St. Catherine landscaper charged after gun allegedly found at his home. Death sentence sought for ex-South Korean leader Yoon over martial law decree. Wait. Me, I forgot. No, I'm on in. No, sir. We are. Hey, early morning, ladies and gentlemen. 8 o'clock. Me I go live. Now make sure so me make the thumbnail and everything. Oh, this girl is a chess player. And she captured gold. 20th Central American and Caribbean Youth Chess Festival. Wow. Puerto Rico. I will never kill Donnelly, says Capan Trial. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Donnelly is already dead, and I've never spoken on this. I will never kill Donnelly. That would suggest that Donnelly is alive. Who wrote this? Is this a typo error? Or was that what he actually said? I will never kill. Not I would never, you know. I will never kill Donnelly. Boy, if it's right, I don't know, you know. I'm just scrolling through the news at this point. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. This sounds weird. I will never kill Donnelly. She's dead. What do you mean? You will never kill Donnelly. That's weird. That's weird. It's actually weird. Actually weird. Grief supports deployed to school following a deadly crash in St. Elizabeth. Oh my God. One more baby gone. NWA eyes March 26 to finish reconstruction of Troy Bridge. Ah! Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. Clintons refuse to testify in U.S. Epstein investigation. Hey, Uno? Brother, me I tell you, me no want anywhere Uno a go, me no want go with Uno. When all is said and done on the life end, wherever you are going, me no want go there with Uno. Hell no nice. Morgan rejects Hazard road spending criticism, urges facts, not soundbite. Brother, just sit down here, man. Yo. Police probing foil an alleged attempt to steal motor car in Alman Town, Kingston. That is good. Right place at the right time. We want to see more of that. St. Andrew North Police charged 21-year-old after gun seizure in Stony Hill. What is this? RJR Green, a parent company, announces board shake-up, new committee structure. Well, interesting. JAA to meet in a bit, blah, blah, blah. New NIA boss, stand up and be counted. Newly appointed Director of National Integrity Action. Oh, so you are the man if you look out for now. Because you have what the power for doing, sir. There's a ton of corruption and what appears to be corruption happening in the government. So, I am looking to hear from you. Massive ammunition seizure. Licensed firearm holder arrested amid SSL probe. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Andre said something about this, which I find very interesting. The individual that is charged in this, isn't it the boyfriend or the husband or the spouse of the SSL boss's daughter? So if you're in a house, more than 4,000 bullets were allegedly found inside the St. James home that was searched by the security forces last month as part of the coordinated operation to arrest key figures in alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud at the collapsed investment firm Stocks and Security Limited, multiple law enforcement sources has revealed. Let's see if we can open this particular article and read it without the gleaner tell us foolishness, so we can read it. Bullet Bonanza. Yo, them are some title. Bullet Bonanza. Mighty God. Bullet Bonanza. I have to read this to get full context because I don't want to say what is not the truth about the matter. Yes? Wow. So even here, so the man am block me? This is very, very strange. You can't read the newspaper article for crying out loud. Can I get this in the Observer, the Jamaica Observer? I don't know why Glean off to behave like that. Oh,
Hi, Mark Dunford here from Sussex World.
You want the damn something then, brother. Sure.
The Crawley Observer.
The Jamaica Observer. There's too much things happening in Jamaica simultaneously. The entire fabric of the country. The entire fabric of the country is being eroded. Just the entire fabric is being eroded. Alright, so I guess my go up on X. Observer. There it is, Jamaica Observer. Is the Observer even covering this story? Jury Act to be amended. Increase jury stipend to 6,000 daily. Quiet capture, Courtney Ashley. 150 million. Intense release debut album Voyage. Individual US President, United States Guyanese, Grammy, at least 1,000. No man, we want to talk about the gun, the ammunition and seeds. That's what we want to see. This is our top story. A tremor of magnitude. A next tremor? No, Jamaica, hold on there. One next tremor? A tremor with a magnitude 3.0. Mighty God. Hold on, let me copy that link here. A good thing to make up on this. A tremor with a magnitude 3.1 with its epicenter located approximately 5 kilometers north of Stony Hill, St. Andrew, with a focal depth of 10 kilometers on January 8th. But I 14th now, so the old one is the matter about was the first earthquake recorded in Jamaica this year, but it is most certainly will not be the last. Oh, okay. I think our next one, I say wait. Mighty God. We now find this thing, ladies and gentlemen, on the Observer. So just burn feet green and more time, I say, man. You know, why we don't let the article them open for people read? What is wrong with you now? A digital and modern time now, brother. We need to find one way for monetize the thing without subscription, bro. Come on, man. We must monetize on the channel on Facebook. The more people read on the content or the video, them if not the video, want to make money off of it. But this thing where the subscription thing, lame, brother. We can't get to read them something. And this is an important article. That piss me off. Right? Alright, let me look for SSL. SSL, the first reported SSL. Google. SSL boss arrested. I'm going in news. As a matter of fact, let's go here 2 weeks ago.
Serious dictation was.
Let me find the details on this.
Former executives linked to the scandal hit investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited (SSL) have now been charged. They were charged last evening following a ruling by the Director of Public Prosecutions (DPP). The development follows yesterday's coordinated raids at their homes. But as you'll also hear in this report from McKinsky Robinson, those charged have since been offered bail.
The three are former Director Hugh Crosby, former Montego Bay Branch Manager Sarah Meany, and ex-CEO Zachary Harding. They have each been charged with multiple counts of fraudulently inducing persons to invest money, failure to register company carrying on business in Jamaica, carrying out securities business without dealer's license, failure to apply to the Commission to be registered for securities issued, and breach of the Banking Services Act. Each has been offered station bail in the sum of $1 million and is to appear before the court on January 26, 2026. One of the attorneys representing Mr. Crosby, Peter Champagny, is urging the public not to rush to judgment.
My client has consistent Bolo
On and targeted 4 premises and seizure operative forces and the financial investigator Campbell on a Saturday. Mr. Crosby is also being represented by Samoy Campbell. On a Saturday, members of the security forces and the financial investigations division conducted search and seizure operations at the homes of the three. The operation targeted 4 premises, 3 in St. Andrew and 1 in St. James, as part of the long-running probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at SSL. The fraud scandal first came to public attention in January 2023. Yesterday's operation marks the first major public law enforcement development in the SSL case in more than a year. Former SSL employee Jean Panton was charged with multiple offenses in February 2023. In December 2023, the FID submitted a case file to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, signaling the possibility of further charges.
Alright, so me now get to more from that. It's them now mention the individual with the girlfriend, the girlfriend man. Right? Yeah. That's what we want to hear about. Alright, look like I this. Oh, this one not it neither. Them keep let me see. Oh, Gleaner, I always have a better story them to me, you know, but you know now help me story them, you know. I want if a new management when I go make things better in Jesus' name, because this is ridiculous. Brother, I mean if you have a website for yourself, bro, and you can make money off a website, just by people that click the link, bro. Just by having traffic. Right? Look how long I try to open this one. Wow. Wow. Let's put it over here, so. This is ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. This is pro. You don't know what's happening there. Alright, so this finally opened up, but still we're not getting any reads. Dearly God, dearly God, dearly God, dearly God. Still not getting any reads, ladies and gentlemen. Can somebody send me the link? You guys remember the original when it just came out? Like the original, when it just came out, when the situation just came out, and remember? That is the article that I want. See if we can find it on PDTV. Alright. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So sometimes Andre give titles and sometimes I don't really give titles. He just said join the conversation. So let me see. But I think like SSL on certification, blah blah blah, then it's see. The thumbnail would suggest something though. I think this is it, 15 staff members, fire teams, blah blah blah. Harding, you're guilty. Okay. Historic Paul Chen Young, Eagles Bank, SSL, 2 weeks ago. I believe this is it. But here's so now, station bail for 3 white people. What a tangled web. Oh yes. Oh yes, this is where it started.
Before you dive into
This is where it started. 3 weeks ago. I just want to see the article. Yes. SSL found a U Crosby seen leaving St. Andrew premises. Yes, man. Google. SSL founder found seen leaving SSL found a youth cross-country seen leaving St. Andrew premises with police. SSL found a youth cross-country seen leaving St. Andrew residence with police. You notice how they frame that? No, Gleaner, don't mess with me. Do not mess with me. Alright? You don't need to come down now, brother. You're not going too bad, hombre. There's just no way you're not do this right now. Every article you can read. Kind of foolishness is, brother. TikTok when I see this. Every single article, bro. Man, I try to get some. I go start screenshot to all of them, you know. Anytime they open up for the first time, that's all I'm going to do. I start screenshot everything, because you don't understand what is happening right now. Alright, so it says youth crash phone down principle, blah blah blah. The Gleaners team crash blah earlier financial blah blah blah. Link blah blah blah. Crash has denied involvement but contrary observed outside. We can blah 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 back containing documents blah blah blah. Pick up truck. Say blah blah blah. Officer on the scene declined comment. Police officer sources indicated blah blah blah. Crash turned blah blah blah. Champagne blah blah blah. After scandal blah blah blah. I am blah 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 blah. Members of the public blah 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 blah. FID reveal clients irregularities blah 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 blah. So hold on, then I mention the boyfriend none at all in this. Them no mention the boyfriend none at all. Mighty God. That's very interesting. Still I got screenshot this. Need the article screenshot because I tell you say the man am going bad brother with cleaner. I'm gonna show screenshot this. Have it down and you know put in the archive. And sometimes things that man ain't gonna take long and something. So we need it. Anyway, let me see if we can find another source. Another article. Especially on
Dennis Strong. Dennis Strong. Oh, Dennis Strong. Paula Llewellyn, come here. Paula Llewellyn, because you never want to prosecute your friends. You delayed the case until 2026. Jamaica have been reliably informed that Paula Llewellyn had the docket on her desk to charge them.
If you're over 40 and want to shock it,
in the Christmas, if Christmas Joyride could have him boyfriends come to him in the prison or go out to him to have the time of them life at them them batty party and all of them something there. If prisoner joyride is a black man, it's of the stewards. Park through Jamaica. Point A to point B. Who failed to protect the investors at SSL?
Former FSC chair mum on the SSL problem years. This article right here is another article that I need to have. Yeah, man. The article there, we need to have the article there. Alright. What you say go again? We are doing some recon work right now. Former FSC chair, mum on SSL probe years. Former FSC chair, mum on SSL problems. Years. I'm not the best typewriter person, ladies and gentlemen, alright? Like, you know, it is what it is. It's slow compared to actual professionals. So, I bet say this one not open either. This was 2023, you know, so. You know, can't trick me though. Make sure that's why I need a phone and I use for these types of moments. Let me just screenshot this. There's these two people, right? Alright, what does this say? Former chairman. Alright, she's mum, that means that she's quiet. She not say nothing. Alright. Why is this lady? Why is this, you know? I'm going to read this article and I'm going to be asking a lot of questions to the Jamaican government. Yeah, man. And I'm going to ask the people of Jamaica some questions as well, because for the life of me, I just cannot understand how them operating in the way they're operating. I just can't. What else I'm looking for? You cross carries. Let me just. You cross carries daughter partner found with illegal gun and ammunition. You cross carry of SSL's daughter spouse found with guns, illegal guns and ammunition. Let's see if we can find that story. Because I know I heard something to that effect, yes? And the guns you find with a illegal amount of ammunition, I believe. And search for the article. Hopefully this article I have something.
University Hospital of the West Indies awarded 51 contracts totaling 521 million, for which the Auditor General found no procurement documentation. 51 contracts without no documentation in Jamaica. The Auditor General also discovered that the UWI Hospital used its tax exemption status to import goods, Courtney, for a private company, and later purchase those same goods from the private company. For a private company. Tax exemption status.
So this is tax fraud. This is tax fraud. Yeah, I typed that already, but where say them black IP address of me in Jamaica? Shouldn't they have stories linked to it though? Like the daughter's spouse should be linked to the story.
But goods, import goods, Courtney, for a private company, and later purchase those same goods from the private company.
But that the private company, they must money them know our family or something. Because they might escape taxes. Right? Right? The UHWI used its tax exemption status to import goods for a private company. This has to be illegal, you know? Somebody needs to go to prison. How many people arrested in the police probe into Hugh Crosker's property? How many people arrested in Hugh Crosker's property by the police? How many people arrested in Hugh Crosker's property by the police? How many people was arrested at Hugh Crosker's property in St. Andrew by the police? None of these articles are recent. Yo, I'm gonna find out still. I'm gonna call Mystic Sensation.
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus!
I'm going to say it again, Jamaica. The UWI Hospital used the tax exemption to carry in Jamaica. The UWI Hospital used tax exemption.
Where you say Betwiz, where you say you used to work for that company, what SSL or UWI?
To carry in goods for a private company. Then turn round and buy back the goods from the private company. What can go so? What?
That's what they call double scamming. That's what they call layered scamming. That's exactly what that is. Layered scamming, ladies and gentlemen.
Can go so.
What a piece of bang. This is unbelievable.
Who is the procurement officer? Who is the purchasing officer at the university? Hospital of the West Indies.
Well, no.
Have you ever listened and seen this kind of skullduggery? This, Courtney, this is untenable.
Yeah, man. Terrible, man.
This is untenable.
Terrible. I not even have the energy.
If you can't balance on one
I
foot,
don't have the energy to deal with this right now. I tell you the truth. I have to do this in the morning. 8 o'clock or so. That's true.
I want to ask tonight.
So this is one I
I want to ask tonight, Jamaica. What was the item that was carried in for this private company? Was it the drill?
Hey.
Was it the drill, Jamaica, that was carried in for a private company called Meditech? I am asking, I don't know. We need to know, Jamaica. We need to know. We need to know tonight, Jamaica. Who carried in this drill?
Wait a sec. This happened for 4 years. All the contracts go to them? Allegedly. Wow.
Who? What company? What did they need to carry in? And did they turn around and purchase back the item from the private company? Jamaica.
Come on.
Look how many people suffering in this land.
Come on, no man.
Jamaica. Look how you and I, look how many people in our beloved island is suffering.
Come on, man. Let's be real now, man. This is any labor.
Look at the people in our beloved island suffering.
Any labor that is not outraged at these types of activities. Like, I have to question your integrity. If you're not, if this sits well with you, trust me, I wouldn't want to be in the same vehicle as you. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't, because then lightning might strike the vehicle or an accident or something. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the same vehicle as you. That's why when I go up on the road and I have to pray, you know, because I tell you, say, you know, some people, it's not even you, you know. Some people just they're on you and some things that they're involved in. Jeez, please, what was that? Right. Something I'm going with the electricity, you know. Anytime the inverter start do that, something's going on with the electricity. Some low voltage. Like I said, my people, we have to do this in the morning or later this morning. I never knew this was so much. This has to be really taking our times and sift through it and ask the relevant questions. This can't be a 9-day one. And then tough time response is what? You know, yeah man, we're going to, you know, yeah, you know. Massive ammunition seizure from licensed firearm owner arrested amid SSL probe. So it's a licensed firearm holder. So it was him have excess ammunition. He had too much. More than 4,000 bullets were allegedly found at the St. James home that was searched by the security forces last month as part of the coordinated operations to arrest key figures in the alleged monkey. So I'm saying, how these people get bail with ammunition, illegal amounts of ammunition found. Let me Google something real quick. Is that a misdemeanor? What is the legal punishment for a licensed firearm holder in Jamaica when found with excessive amounts of ammunition? Copy. Let us see. Under the new Jamaica Firearms Act 2022, a licensed firearm holder found in excessive amount of ammunition may face severe penalty, including a minimum of 20 years in prison before parole eligibility. Damn. The law defines specific quantities of ammunition as serious offenses. Possession of 20 rounds or more of ammunition is considered dealing in a prohibited weapon, which is a felony punishable by imprisonment with a term of no less than 20 years before the individual is eligible for parole. Possession of 50 rounds or more of ammunition is treated as stockpiling of prohibited weapons. So, ladies and gentlemen, given the amount of ammunition that was found in the house, the property owned by said, and the girlfriend or the wife of the man, how comes them get bail? How did she get station bail? I'm going to ask the question, you know. I'm going to ask the question. Before I go to Babylon, I'm going to ask this question. I really am. I'm going to ask. I think this is important. Hey, I one thing, you know. I one thing. Amber nice, you know, man. DJ Amber, you know. Mighty God. You got DJ Amber. Nice looking lady. Don't want to piss her off, bro. I'm telling you. When she's pissed off, I'm telling you, the fire comes out, man. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I have a few quick questions, right? In regards to this story right here at the cleanup, right? Bullet bonanza, right? Massive ammunition seized from licensed firearm holder. Arrest amid SSL probe. It says more than 4,000 bullets were allegedly found in St. James' home that was searched by the security forces last month as a part of coordinated operation to arrest key figures in alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud at the collapsed investment firm Stocks and Security Limited. Multiple law enforcement sources have revealed. Now, I googled what is the charge under the new Jamaican Firearms Act of 2022. A licensed firearm holder found with an excessive amount of ammunition is served severe penalties, including a minimum of 20 years imprisonment before parole eligibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just want to ask the question: how did the daughter of Hugh Krasky and Hugh Krasky get stationed there when this was a part of the findings of the police? You understand what I'm saying? If it's even of suspicion, do you believe that a regular Jamaican citizen that is supposed to be the girlfriend of this man that had the licensed firearm and the excessive amount of ammunition in the house and property of Hugh Krasky in St. Andrew, yes? Allegedly, according to the story, do you believe that a regular Jamaican would get stationed there? Or do you believe that the police would have hold them and investigated same to try to see if there's any connection to those ammunition and then through further investigation just off the suspicion, because 20 years in a prison, that's a serious charge, automatically, right? What if the responsibility was the ammunition is both persons actually is responsible for it, or all three of them that was on the property? Over 4,000 bullets. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, something ain't right, bro. Until Jamaica needs cleanup. Jamaica needs cleanup. 4,000 bullets. Over 4,000. That's potentially over 4,000 lives being snuffed out. So if it's what is good for the goose is good for the gander, ladies and gentlemen. We need to be fair. We need to be fair in this country. I don't understand that. That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense to me. I'm telling you right now, that don't make no sense to me. That is wild. That's wild. Right? How she get bail? How do they justify her getting station bail at a measly $1 million? That makes sense too, no? It look like I'm gonna start go early. I start go live like 8 or 7 in the morning, because it seems as if most of my people them not up late at night, or because no, I have people all over the world. But I'm probably tired. I have to catch them right time, man. But this is I don't know. Hear that? Hear this something go off. Something ain't right, bro. Something ain't right. Something just ain't right. People, I'm gonna leave it there till the morning. But this is gonna be weighing on my mind. When is the hearing? Them said the 26th. For who? The ammunition? The SSL one is the 26th of January, 2026. How ironic. 26th of January, 2026. Very interesting. Anyway, that's my time, guys. I'm gonna leave you guys. Thank you guys for those that stick around and those that pass through, and for those that hit the like button. And yeah, man, something. This not sit well in my spirit at all. Something wrong with this. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know in the comment section. Peace and blessings. I'm out. I am out.